Good evening. I'm Jibbet Abrams along with Bob Green, and we're at our studios here in Sylacauga of WOIL TV 47, and the runoff election is now in the books. The polls are now closed, and Bob, it seemed like a long time since August, but man, you got some numbers that are kind of mind-boggling.
Yep, quite a few. We were talking before we went on the air about the...
How many mayors have we had in all that time?
Oh, we've had, not since August now, but
no.
Since 1887, we've had 33 different mayors in Sylacauga.
Yeah.
And 4 of them resigned, and 3 have died in office. Gene Stewart, James Payton, and Sam Wright were the 3 that died in office, and the 4 that resigned was Howard Parker, M.S. Hurston, Ed J. Howard, and Joe Dart.
One thing I want to mention right off the top, Blaine Lambert.
Yep.
Blaine passed away, I guess overnight or early this morning. And wasn't his father a mayor at one time? Wasn't he a mayor? Curtis Lambert? Oh no, that's Curtis Lyles. But
yeah,
Blaine Lambert, his father was, what was he, a banker or insurance or something? You remember Blaine?
I know he was involved in politics somewhere.
Yeah,
I remember that. Maybe county commission or...
Yeah, Blaine passed away overnight last night, and our condolences to his family. And to James Blankenship, military veteran, Vietnam veteran, passed away at Bill Nichols Veterans Home in Alexander City today. And man, he was a Purple Heart Award winner.
Yes. And
so our condolences to his family, and I want to thank all of our service members for their service to this great country. And man, we don't think about that well enough.
Well, you know, what most people have forgotten real quick is we still have people in harm's way today.
You're right.
That getting killed every day, that the veterans and everything coming home. So I can remember the Vietnam era real well.
Yeah, for sure.
And the reception that was given to the Vietnam vets when they got home.
Yeah. One of our viewers said Mr. Lambert was a road commissioner back in that day.
Yes.
And but anyway, our condolences to Blaine's family today as well. The polls are closed at J. Craig Smith Community Center. One race, District 3, between newcomers to the political arena, and Nate Brewer and DeCorey Hale. I
think they're both either 30 or under 30.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they'll probably be around a long time, both of them. And both of them were good candidates, ran a good campaign. I mean, I didn't see any mud being slung or anything, just good, honest. Both the gentlemen out working hard, knocking on doors. And I guess what in a small town you have to do, just get out and work hard.
How many people voted in the August election in District 3?
355.
Okay. Think that many will go back today?
Be close.
Yeah. I projected 250, and I'm probably a couple hundred behind that. So it built as the day went along today as far as the number of people who went to the polls.
Yeah. I rode down a couple of times today, and it really wasn't a problem finding a place to park. A beautiful day, so if somebody's got a reason, if we have the same turnout we had last time, 355 is only 23% of the 15. I guess I figured up 15. You've got 1,500 people essentially in every district. So about 25%, that's still a low turnout for a beautiful day like we had today.
Oh, yeah. And polls are closed, and we'll have the numbers for you momentarily here on WOIL TV 47. And whomever the person who garners the most votes when all of it is counted, we want to salute Donnie Blackman for his 4 years of service.
Donnie did a good job. He worked hard. He took care of his constituents. Well, he took care of whether we're in his area, district or not. He took care of you, and he was just a good councilman.
Yeah, and 4 years. You know, he was inexperienced when he won the election 4 years ago too.
Yep. I don't know how, we've talked about this before to get the people out to vote. And there were some interesting items in the runoff this time. One thing in particular was the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And one of the candidates was for the new Civic Center. Nate Brewer was, I guess, I hope Nate will come by a little while later. He wants to fix the old one.
Yeah. DeCorey wants a new Civic Center, and you know, both of those gentlemen were outspoken as to what they would like to see in our city, which is very good.
I think one of the things that Sylacauga needs, you didn't ask me this, but you know, I have an opinion.
It's probably my note somewhere.
Think about is, in many cases, the candidates were talking about Sylacauga as moving forward, and Sylacauga, we all feel like Sylacauga to a certain extent is moving forward if you go out in the retail trade and everything. But as far as population, if you look at East Alabama's Regional Planning Commission's projection and everything, we're under 12,000 today. We're at 11,733 people today.
That ain't good.
And that's not good, and because that will change the form of government in Sylacauga. And I haven't heard too much from any candidate except we're going to have annexation and we're going to do this and we'll do that, one or two at a time. And I don't have the answer, but I'm not, I don't tend to go and solve the problems of the city, and I'm not running for city election, but I think that's one of the big things we're looking at now is a population decline. If it's true, but we can have all the retail growth we want. And I know the sales tax is growing, I understand, and other things of that nature, and some of the other taxes, property taxes are increasing. But as far as population, we just can't keep sliding.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, the census is still ongoing, and we'll see how that ends up. But anything under 13,000 is 12,000. It changes the dynamics of a lot of things.
It really changes the. I understand what grants you can apply for. It changes your the mayor council form of government. The mayor becomes a member of the council. He becomes president of the council, and
that's crazy.
He less than 12,000. When they change to that, I don't know how long after you drop below 12, whether it's a year, 2 years, or what, but you change below it, there'll be 6 votes on the council, and you'll be sitting there looking at some ties, and the mayor will, in essence, cease to be the chief executive officer of the city, and I guess you can call him the chairman of the board because he'll have a vote then.
Let's talk about the 2 candidates in the District 3 runoff, Nate Brewer and DeCorey Hale. As you said, both young men, and work very, very hard with their supporters. And I know Brewer, he started back in December of last year, and DeCorey has worked very, very hard. DeCorey is an employee of Alabama Power, and very, very well involved in his community, as Nate Brewer is.
Well, and you go back and look, and they both talked about infrastructure. They talked about their constituents, cleaning up the city, wanting growth, continuing the growth and momentum of the city. One of the big differences was in the swimming pool, though, was that Nate Brewer wanted to fix what we got and let people go back swimming, and DeCorey was all for the new Civic Center with the indoor, which is going to be nice when they get it. But I asked, when we were here before, back in August, I asked a couple of questions. So when do they expect to go swimming in Sylacauga again? And I still hadn't public pool, and I haven't received a question, an answer to that yet, but 355 people voted in general election on August 25th, Jimmy Dale. And just to recap it, Nate Brewer got 162 votes, DeCorey got 107, and Donnie Blackman got 86. That's 355 people. So,
yep. 300, we just got the numbers in, 333 people voted at the polls today.
Okay.
And 18, I think, absentees. And Nate Brewer is a winner in District 3 as he defeats DeCorey Hale in the runoff today. And so congratulations to Nate Brewer. Yeah. And you know, he worked hard, began early, and stayed with it through today. And I noticed he had his signs up when I came by J. Craig tonight, and he had them covered up today at the J. Craig Smith.
Quick calculation, that's about 56% of the vote.
Yeah, and
which is,
really,
that's 350. That's 5 votes short of counting absentees of what we had last time.
A lot of people with Nate Brewer with 201 votes, by the way, and DeCorey Hale with 132. That's District 3 for Sylacauga City Council, and that's the tabulations from J. Craig Smith, and I believe there were 18 or 17 and absentees, and Nate Brewer got every one of those.
Well, what can you say?
Yeah, people spoke in District 3.
He got out and worked hard, and I was hoping Nate would come by tonight.
He will. I'm sure he'll be here in a few minutes. We also invited DeCorey to come by, talk with both those gentlemen earlier in the day. But Nate Brewer, very outspoken, and a young man who worked from day one in getting to this point tonight. And so congratulations to Nate.
I know how hard he's worked. I've seen him out in the afternoons. He had to work during the day and in the afternoons, and I've needed to ask him a question or two about something else that he and I are involved in. And he was always out calling on at somebody's house, calling on them. Said, "I'll see you when I get through with this block."
Yeah, yeah.
But
so Nate Brewer, the winner, and he is a new District 3 Sylacauga City Councilman, and a couple of new faces added to the council for what did they take office in early November?
November 5th.
Yeah.
That's a Monday. November 5th, Laura Heath in District 5. I think she won what, 50%
right,
plus
yeah,
2.
She was right at
50 plus 2. So you can truly say in her race every vote counted. And in District 3, Nate Brewer wins tonight. He gained from 162 to 201. What is that? 39 votes.
Brewer with 201 votes. DeCorey Hale with 132.
Yep.
And so will you add the 17? So that's 218 to 132, and it wasn't far from doubling DeCorey in the runoff. And Corey Hale worked very, very hard and had his team together, and really he used social media quite a bit too, especially in the runoff. Yep. And of course he used television and electronic media, and but you know, we haven't heard the last of DeCorey Hale, that's for sure, in the political arena.
Not.
Yeah, you're
really,
right. I hope not too.
Really a fine individual, and has really done a lot in town and worked hard with SAFE, and was outstanding young business people in Sylacauga, that group, and they've had some programs downtown Sylacauga, entertainment programs, and some things they've put on to promote Sylacauga, and that group has done a fine job with DeCorey and a few more people.
And you mentioned Mr. Hale and Mr. Brewer are very young still, and I know Nate, he raised a lot of money in his campaign by selling watermelons and cantaloupes and tomatoes during the hot summer months, and so obviously that's paid off for him.
You know, I wonder how many people have financed the campaign selling watermelons and cantaloupes.
I don't know, but you do what you need to do, I guess.
But
so what does Nate bring to the table as City Councilman District 3?
well, that's what I want to ask Nate.
What do you see before?
I think he brings new ideas. I think both of them would have brought new ideas to the table. I think he brings a personality that will express his ideas. I think he will do the best what he thinks for the citizens of Sylacauga. And I just think he will be a good asset, will be a hard worker, and will do what was right. And just because something has always been done a certain way, I think it's going to change. Nate can change it.
One thing I've heard numerous people talk about, that if elected, Brewer would bring a lot of renewed energy to the council in Sylacauga. And he is young and vibrant, as is DeCorey Hale, and either one of them would have been a good fit there.
Yep, I think so. And not saying that Mr. Blackman or I guess the other one that lost their position
Mr. Davenport.
was Mr. Davenport. Didn't have it, but you're getting two that's not as old as together as one of them, and I can
we know about that, don't we?
talk like that because I'm older than both of them.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. This has been a good election, and what do you think is the most pressing? You sit around and you interview everybody. You interview people just about every day on Daybreak. And what do you gather that is one of the most pressing needs in Sylacauga?
You know, you talked about the Civic Center, you talked about the pool. I think one of the things that's very important to the citizens of Sylacauga is getting Sylacauga beautiful once again. You know, we've kind of struggled with that, even though we've had people who worked hard, but doggone, it's kind of like getting people to the polls. We don't think anything about throwing trash out or bottles out or anything like that. And Sylacauga the Beautiful, remember that name?
When was that? Back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, people ask me where I live, and I tell them a Big Mac and an order of fries and a large Coke from McDonald's. All you got to do is look at my front yard on Saturday morning.
Got you. If you're just joining us, Nate Brewer is the winner in District 3 over DeCorey Hale. And we're expecting Mr. Brewer and hopefully Mr. Hale as well to come in before. We're going to try to leave you about 8:30 this evening. We got the results a little bit earlier than we may have thought because we got the absentees quicker this time than we did last time. Of course, we had less candidates for different races as well.
Jim and Dad, we were talking about mayors. Can we switch the deal and talk about the mayors again? I was just interested when that came up today.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you look at this list. I could go back and remember to 1948 when Ed J. Howard was mayor of Sylacauga. How far back on that list?
That's a few years, man. Wow. Whoa, that goes way back. The city was what, founded in 87 or something?
1887.
Yeah, all right. Nate Brewer is here with us, and let's take a quick break, and we'll have Nate back with us. Nate, the winner in District 3. He is a new Sylacauga City Councilman in that district. He'll join us right after this. A funeral service represents a family's final farewell to their loved ones. Knowing this, we go beyond what is expected to ensure the ceremony is beautiful and memorable, a truly fitting tribute to that special life. We invite you to visit us to meet our staff and tour our renovated facility complete with a new dining area and catering services. We've been serving the people of this area for over 40 years, and we think that you'll be pleased to find that making lasting impressions remains our first priority. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.
While you're at home with family for the next few weeks, don't put off scheduling home repairs. Call Ox Foundation for a free estimate. With more time at home, you tend to notice things you haven't in the past. Mold and moisture in your basement or crawl space, uneven driveways, stair-step cracks in your exterior brick, uneven floors and doors. If your home is showing weakness, it's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Stay strong, Alabama.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Kick off to saving a set of Honda Sylacauga.
Save all month long on a new 2020 Honda Civic from $21,300 or just $294 a month. $294 a month. Or rates as low as 0.9% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, get up to $4,000 over Kelly Blue Book value on your trade when you upgrade to a new Honda.
The right people, a better customer experience, and nobody beats our bottom line price. Nobody.
Sarah Honda of Sylacauga.
Newly elected City Councilman District 3 in Sylacauga, Nate Brewer. Nate, congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of hard work. Started back in what, December?
Jimmy Dale, we started in December and we didn't quit until today, okay? I mean, I like to thank my family because without them, none of this would be possible. And I would also like to thank God because at the end of the day, He's the reason I'm sitting here today. Without Him, we can do nothing. And I look forward to working with God, and working with the people and working with our citizens and just trying to get in there. I'm a little bit excited right now because I've worked so hard for it, and I wanted this to work for our people of this city. I wanted to move Sylacauga forward. It's always been a dream of mine, and I'm just a little excited right now. I
guess so.
DeCorey Hale, good guy, ran a good race, and I thank the people of District 3 for putting me here in office.
60%, Bob, of the vote?
350 votes cast, 218 for Mr. Brewer. That's about 60%.
Yeah.
That's 10-point margins isn't good in any election.
So I think, what is it, 201 votes plus the 18, 219 to 132? Does
Yes,
that
sir.
sound about right?
Yes, sir.
And,
Them are the numbers.
And so you're at the poll today, and you worked all the way through today. And what do you think was the key to your success?
I think when people showed up today, Brother Jimmy Dale, they already knew who they was voting for. I think everything started back in December. When I started campaigning, and then we started going door to door May, June, July, August, we had a primary. We took 2 weeks off and we started again. I think people saw how hard we worked, and I think people saw that they could trust us and they could trust me and the things they was asking, the answers I could give, because I've been to every council meeting. I know what's going on up to this date, and I think they saw the knowledge that I already had for this city, and a little bit, it's not really experience because I've never been a city councilman. I just think the hard work, my football coaches and my principals and my mentors always told me, he says, Nate, hard work pays off. Well, it paid off this time. So I'm
Bob,
grateful for
you
that.
talked about some of the issues that were out there in this runoff. Talk about some of those with our new city councilman, District 3, Nate Brewer.
Nate, the two things that stood out with me is you pushed to fix a pool. Your opponent wanted to hold off however long it took to build a civic center.
Okay.
Give us your reason on that.
Well, my thing is this, Brother Bob. At the end of the day, when I went door to door, that is one of the main concerns that my people had. That's what they want. They want their swimming pool fixed. They're not concerned about a civic center. They're not concerned about an indoor swimming pool. They want their swimming pool. And that's why I kept getting resources and getting information to try to find out how we can fix that, because at the end of the day, these people elected me to work for them, and that's why I kept pushing that. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs, and I'm not sitting here telling you I got all the answers, because I don't, obviously, or it'd already be fixed, okay? But I am telling you I'm going to work on it. I am telling you that I'm going to get in there and find the right people that's over this part and over this department and the ways we're going to try to get it fixed, okay? Because that's what my people want.
One of the things that Jimmy Dale and I talked about a little bit earlier is a lot of campaigning was done, and the words keep the momentum going. We have momentum going out on 280 where retail develop and everything. But as far as population growing, we're not growing in Sylacauga.
No, we're not.
And have you given any thought, I know this is a pretty tough question to ask you off the cuff, have you given any thought about how to get Sylacauga to grow?
Well, the only thing I can come up with, Brother Bob, is we've got to go, and you know, we hear it time and time and time and time after again, we've got to go find jobs. Because if my daddy can make $150,000 in Sylacauga or $100,000 versus making whatever 80 over here, that's going to bring him in. And the more jobs we find, the more families we can bring in. It helps our school systems. People pay taxes here, people stay here. And now how I do that? The only thing I know off the top of my head is go to work with the economic development and to go out here and try to sell Sylacauga with the mayor and some of the other resources we have. As of right now, that's the only way I know how to do that. And I know that we're struggling population-wise, and I know we're struggling in certain areas, but that's all I know right now.
333 votes cast at the poll, and you received 201 of those, and all 17 of the absentee ballots as well, to win rather handily in what most people thought would be a much closer race than actually what it turned out to be.
Yes, sir. Well, Jimmy Dale, I'm going to tell you something. That comes down to going to people's houses and sitting down and talking with them. That comes down to asking them, have they voted? Asking them, do you want to vote absentee? That just kind of shows them concern, and then they give it some thought, and then next thing you know, they're voting absentee.
What's the makeup of District 3 as far as people who...
I think on paper there's about 1,700 people in District 3. So 300 voters, that's not real good. That's not real good at all. So we need more voters, because at the end of the day...
Who are the people in District 3?
The people in District 3, we have a variety of kind of different people. Now, a lot of them are senior citizens, because you have the Sylacauga Housing Authority, you have Virginia West and Sylacauga Manor and Autumn Trace, Woodhill, and the Coosa Valley Living over behind Rudd's Car Wash. So a lot of them are senior citizens, but there's a mixture of people my age and middle class also. So there's a pretty good little mixture there. I don't know the exact numbers. I'll be sitting here telling you live. I told you a number. So, but there's a good little mixture there. It's all about getting people back out to the polls.
Before we kick it back to Bob, your grandparents were so instrumental in your life, and they would have to be very proud of you today.
Well, when I found out that I won, I said I wish my papa was here, because this is one of his it's one of his dreams also, you know, and that kind of just touched me, because those two were my people. You know, I could do no wrong, and it was all right in my grandmother's eyes. Now his was a different story.
He's a little different, wasn't he?
He was a little different. They were so instrumental in my life, and without them, Jimmy Dale, there is no Nate Brewer. That's what we need to understand. Without my grandparents paving the way and showing me right from wrong and disciplining me and keeping me intact. There is no Nate Brewer without them and God. So I like to give thanks to them, and I know they're smiling down on me tonight. So, and I thank them too. They was very instrumental, Jimmy Dale.
Bob?
I know exactly how you feel. My grandparents raised me, so.
Yes, sir.
It's sort of a powder puff question, but when you went into a lot of houses. I know you not only did you knock on the door and hand them a card and scoot.
I drank a lot of coffee too.
You'd sit down and talk with them. How do you feel the attitude of the people in your district is about what's going on in Sylacauga?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
They're not too crazy about it. Just because my people that I got to talk to are used to downtown boom. You know, like I've said before, when I was a little boy, Saturday morning, I mean, the sidewalks were full. You know, they want that back, and they're not.
Wait a minute, Nick. What year were you a little boy?
1990
Okay.
to about 95, and I think I hit a
Okay.
growth spurt.
Okay.
A big one. So, but anyway, they, excuse me, they want downtown back busy like it used to, more shopping centers, and I know we've got plans in place for that, and they want more things to do, okay? So that they're not all the way happy, but they're not just like terribly disappointed and wanting to move. You know, they want some little extra patrolling around their houses because they're older people, and our young folks want more stuff for their kids to do, you know, besides go to the park, or because we don't have a swimming pool to go to, or go to the park, or go out to the Cal Ripken field and play soccer or play sport. They want more arts and crafts and maybe a movie theater, bowling alley, but you know, that's something we got to look in forward, and we got to go find those investors to come here and build a movie theater and build a bowling alley. So that's just some things they're looking at.
The truth of the matter is the city doesn't go out and build the bowling alleys.
That's
they
right.
don't build the movie theater.
That's right.
Somebody's got to find
That's right.
the investors to come in and spend the millions of dollars.
Yes, sir. You got to go sell Sylacauga.
What would you say? There's a lot of supporters of DeCorey Hale watching tonight. What would you say to those supporters and to DeCorey tonight?
DeCorey, I thank you for being a good running mate. I thank you for running your campaign, and I know you've got a lot of good ideas for Sylacauga, and I'd love to work with you because I think some of your ideas are good. To DeCorey Hale supporters, I ask you to lean on me for 4 years. I ask you to bounce ideas off me. I ask you to let me work with you because at the end of the day, we're all in this together because we are Sylacauga. Okay, I really enjoy Sylacauga. I really enjoy people. I really love people. So if you'll let me work for you and let me serve you for 4 years, I think we can make this thing roll. And hey, if I'm not doing something you think I'm supposed to be doing, call me out because I promise you I can fix it. If I'm not doing right, let me know. Hold me accountable for 4 years, and I'll hold myself accountable along with some other folks, and we'll see what can happen. But I sure would appreciate your support for the next 4 years, and maybe we'll go with this thing again next 4.
60% of the vote, about 32% of the population in the district voted today. You get 60% of the vote. I think that's good. It shows that you got out, you worked hard. DeCorey worked hard, but I guess you worked just a little bit harder, and you deserve the 4 years, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Bob.
Before we go, a couple of quick things. Donnie Blackman, the incumbent, 4 years in office, and he was defeated in the August election. You have been very outspoken about your appreciation for Donnie Blackman.
Yes, sir. And here's the deal. Brother Donnie Blackman, if you're watching, I thank you for 4 years of service you've given, and I look forward to working with you on the council when I take over November the 3rd. If you ever need anything or if you see something I need to do different, please feel free to call me and we'll make this city work. I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to get out of city business altogether. I want you to still hang around and give us a hand because we're going to need your thoughts also.
And Bob and I talked about this a little bit earlier before we even came on. How do you think in closing that you will fit with the city council and mayorship?
Well, here's the deal, Jimmy Dale. What you see is what you get. My name is Timothy Nathaniel Brewer, the grandson of Ronnie and Barbara Brewer. I am very outspoken. I contain myself, but I am going to work for these people of Sylacauga, Alabama. I'm going to work for District 3, and I'm going to work for this community. If it's not right, and I'm not saying the city's doing anything wrong, but if it's not right, Nate Brewer's not going to do it, and we're going to ask some questions, and we're going to get it right. I look forward to working with everybody on the council. I think we can make a great team as long as we do the right thing and what's right for our people, because at the end of the day, the people put us in. We work for the people of Sylacauga, Alabama, not everybody else. We work for the people. So and that's what we got to do.
And to the supporters who went to the poll and voted for you today.
To my supporters, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you today. I thank you for trusting in me for 4 years to take this to the next level. I thank you for believing in me, and if I can ever help you, my number is 256-404-3419. I'm your councilman. I'm on call for you 24/7, 365 days out of the year. That's what you voted for, and that's what you got, and I appreciate every one of you.
There we go. District 3 City Councilman Nate Brewer, the winner tonight in the runoff with DeCorey Hale. And Nate, appreciate your time and congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all.
All right, we got more on our special election coverage from our downtown studios in Sylacauga on WOIL TV 47 right after this.
Welcome to the award-winning Sylacauga Park in Oxford, Alabama. We believe Sylacauga Park is the place to be, and our fans agree, describing the park as breathtaking, professional, and fun for all. With plenty of parking, restrooms, concessions, and a top-notch staff, we are confident your experience will be second to none. Join us today at Sylacauga Park. Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
Your health is everything. It is your wealth. Your family's wealth. Being and staying healthy is the only security you can give to yourself and loved ones, your family. With a multifaceted approach to health and wellness, our family will assist and guide you in that quest. Live responsibly. Join our family. Call and make your appointment today.
HMR of Alabama provides services for Alabama's state veterans' homes and is proud to serve the Colonel Robert Howard State Veterans Home in Pell City. With competitive pay and benefits, your career serving those who served our country can begin today. If you like to help people and enjoy new challenges, contact HMR of Alabama by logging on to hmrveteranservices.com and choose the Careers tab to find out how you can join the HMR team.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Kick off to saving at Tony Seraforo, Sylacauga.
Keep more cash for back to school with 0% APR financing for up to 72 months and up to $13,000 off MSRP on new Ford trucks. Plus guaranteed credit approval and up to $4,000 over KBB value for your trade when you upgrade to a new Ford.
The right people, a better customer experience, and nobody beats our bottom line price. Nobody.
Tony Sarah Ford of Sylacauga.
Jimenel Abrams and Bob Green back at our election coverage headquarters at WOIL and TV 47 here in Sylacauga. The top vote getter is Nate Brewer with 218 votes and DeCorey Hale with 132. So Bob, we've got two new councilmen and a mayor that went in and three other councilman without a runoff. Where do we go from here?
Well, I was just looking at the numbers of what it took to get elected at each district. It took 1,223 votes is what Mayor Heigl got. District 1, Ashland Fowler got 516. That district voted 45%. That's pretty good.
Pretty strong, yeah.
District 2, Tiffany Nix got 203 votes. Nate Brewer got 218 votes. Lee Perriman got 283. And Laura Heath, she won with 124 votes. Now that's 8% of the registered voters.
And Laura's a new president of the Sylacauga Little League.
So, you know, I was just looking at, you can take the votes pretty much in District 3, 4, and 5, and District 1 got more votes than those three together. So
where do we go from here?
I don't. Well, I hope they're ready to work together. I hope it's 5 voices that's making decisions. I hope there's discussions, open discussions on everything. If you don't go to the work session now, you never know what's going on in the meeting. It's pretty much you go to the council meeting and make a resolution, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, and every once in a while it was 4-1.
It's already done prior to
It's already done, and nothing's ever explained in the city council meeting. And the city council work session is an hour before, so it looks like officially 2 hours a month in a meeting of the city's business is done.
I know that in talking with Mr. Blackman and Mr. Davenport, who were both defeated in their reelection bids in August, they spent a lot of time at City Hall, both retired, and they worked a lot of hours at City Hall outside of those meetings, and I'm sure the other councilmen did as well. So, and they don't make a mint, you know, as city councilmen.
But I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just saying that the decision process sometimes looks like a tremendous decision is made on a 5-0 vote with very little discussion in open meetings. I'm not saying it's going on in closed meetings or anything else, because City Council very carefully works under the open meeting law, the Sunshine Law. But I think the big push that's coming now, Jimmy Dale, is the Civic Center. I think it's the train is on the track, the engine's running, and the Civic Center is fixed to be on schedule.
So you think it will be at the location that's been presented?
I think so.
Okay.
And
so what do we do with J. Craig Smith, that building, that facility?
Well, you know, it was offered to another organization. They turned it down. And so what does government usually do with buildings they abandon? What do they do with the schools when they abandon them? Let them sit there? I don't know. There ought to be, it would take a large program. Maybe the Senior Citizens Center can be that big.
But an indoor pool would go with the Civic Center? Is this?
Yeah, that's in it. The indoor pool, the walking track, basketball courts, and everything else. I've seen quick drawings, and the insides hadn't been presented yet. It's just the outside view, and it's fabulous. Yeah. And has to be millions of dollars.
I was about to say, it probably costs a little change.
I don't think they put it on. I'm not trying to be negative on this at all, but I'm just a little dubious about the Civic Center, and
Well, what about the splash pad?
Well,
does that go away?
Well, the splash pad, I guess, will be over where the swimming pool is now. But I understand the swimming pool can be fixed for $188,000. Now, I'm probably going to get phone calls. I'm glad I don't have my phone with me. Some phone calls for saying that, but I've been told several times it could be fixed for that. and by the same guy that's worked on it for years. They might not want him working on it for years. That might be the reason it's in the shape it's in now. But I just see good things ahead for Sylacauga, and I think we've got a good council. And the Planning Commission is just finally completed a comprehensive plan that they started in 2015, and I think they finally voted on it and approved it, or it's coming up for approval. We've got coming up on the council tomorrow night the setting of annexation for about 10 or 15 more people or plots of land to come into Sylacauga. So it looks like things are moving, but you know, it's just I've been told, and one thing that Sam Wright always told me, government moves slow.
That is true. And there's much conversation about that 280 corridor, much conversation about a new grocery store coming out there in 2021. And I think from the people I talk to, that's something that's going to be in our future in the next 12 months out there as that continues to grow, that area.
Yep, the Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
All of them in, I've
so
seen.
what about our downtown area?
That's really disturbing, but the Sanders are really working hard to fix up some of the buildings, and I think it's 702, the state law, that it's also on a public hearing Thursday night to, you could actually rebate businesses' sales tax, a certain amount of their sales tax that they make on property that they increase, and you can rebate them back a certain percent for a certain amount of time or until they recoup their money that they invested.
Wow.
And this is what's happened at the shopping center. That's in effect out there, and I think they're working with the Sanders on the Stanton's building, the Rex Hotel building, and from Old Broadway Cafe, that when they get somebody in there, they will be rebated back a certain percent of the taxes, sales tax.
Yeah. A couple of minutes left before we close tonight. Nate Brewer, the winner in District 3, and over to DeCorey Hale, and a little surprise at the decisiveness of the win for Mr. Brewer tonight.
60%. I was a little surprised at the turnout. You get a runoff with just one deal,
Yeah.
and you like, what would we do, like 3 people, 3 short of what they had in the.
So it shows the hard work that both these guys put in.
They got out and they worked hard, and but congratulations to both of them for working hard. Congratulations to Nate Brewer for his 218 votes, which has put him in office for 4 times 365, whatever that is. Well, one of them be 366. But,
yeah.
But I look for some good work from the city council, and maybe a different approach to problems in the coming 4 years.
And certainly, we talked about this at the top of the show or earlier in the show. None of us think that we've heard the last of DeCorey Hale. He's going to be a rising star in the political arena here in Sylacauga.
Well, another one is Laura Heath. I don't know whether you've interviewed her or not on the Daybreak or anything, but she's still an unknown and unknown factor in this city council.
Well, we'll find out what, November?
November 5th, I think. Nate said the 3rd, and I thought the 5th, so.
We know it's in November.
I think it's the first Monday of November, whatever it is, Jimmy Day. I'm not being negative about this council. I think we've got a good council. I think it's going to be a different working situation than they had before. They're going to have to work harder together. And
that's who we are, Sylacauga, moving forward. And we hope that the next 4 years are going to be fantastic years for our city. Coming out of this, we're still not out of it, COVID-19. We're out of time, but Bob, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Nate Brewer, the winner in District 3 over DeCorey Hale, and hopefully there's some more good things down the line for the city of Sylacauga, led by Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl and our city council. That'll wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for your time.